Dirt jumping is a growing sport in Ireland amongst the youth of today. Dirt jumpers often face strong opposition from local councils, problems with funding, insurance and the general public. Brian is an amateur dirt jumper from Rathfarnham, South Dublin, and finds it difficult to progress as a biker due to the lack of facilities.
I started off about 6 or 7 years ago. I started off mainly doing downhill, but I kind of got bored with that for a bit. So I said I'd just build up a nice dirt jumper and just build some jumps and take it from there, really. A friend of mine called Michael, his brother was really, really good at the time, and he kind of decided to bring me and Michael up, and I kind of got hooked from there, really. There's a thing called the NPS, which is the National Points Series. It's mainly for downhill, but it's kind of branching out into a dirt jump series as well. I think next year there's going to be a proper dirt jump series as well. When it comes to the professional circuit, it's not really that easy to break into it. I mean, you have to be going to every race in NPS, and there has to be kind of scouts around, I suppose. It's the same thing as getting signed to a record deal. It's just you got to be in the right place at the right time and be quite good as well. I would consider it quite hard to become a professional. I mean, you have to be particularly outstanding because there is a growing number of mountain bikers, but it's not a huge number yet. So to find the best of a small bunch is quite hard, as difficult as it sounds, you know. When it comes to injuries, I've actually never seen anything serious at all. I've never injured myself severely at all. I mean, I've had little cuts and scrapes, but nothing to write home about. And I've never known anybody who's done any particular damage to themselves. There's good safety equipment out, and once you buy it, it's a pretty safe sport.
Pat Hooper, Mayor of Raheny, represents the view of the local council.
Raheny has plenty of sporting facilities, but none are funded by the Dublin City Council. The Dublin City Council only provides the playing areas, and the main area for sport in Raheny is St Anne's Park. Now, St Anne's Park would cater for all the ball games such as Gaelic football, soccer, hurling, rugby. Within the St Anne's complex there's a playground for children. For a new sport in the area, you would go through the Dublin City Council Sports and Recreation Department for funding, and they would decide whether you're entitled to a designated area. Kids doing dirt jumping get moved on mainly for the public liability reason. Usually most of them are not a member of any organisation or association, so they would have no insurance.
We're not doing anything bad, we're not chopping down trees, we're not building jump on private land. Nobody ever comes here to do anything really other than just ride their bikes, do dirt jumps, because there's nothing else here to do.
We generally tend to stay out of people's way. Anywhere we ride, it's either up the mountains where there's nobody to begin with, or if we're in the city, we try and stay away, going on bits of waste ground like this.
The park just can't afford any liability claims that would arise. Whether you like it or not, there are a lot of injuries arise out of dirt biking. There's a lot of broken legs and limbs, etc. These safety issues have to be looked upon all the time, and that's the big problem with the dirt bike. If they could get their organisation properly sorted out, I'm sure they would be able to get a few sites within the parks within the greater Dublin area.
Teenagers from all areas of Dublin's north side travel to a piece of wasteland in St Anne's Park, where they have created an illegal dirt jump site to practice and socialise.
I've been doing mountain biking for 2 years. The hardcore stuff I've been doing for about a year and a half. Most of it's been cross-country riding up in the Hill of Howth. However, in the past year and a half I've been coming down to the Chuckies here in St Anne's Park to do jumps. I also build my own jumps. I've been doing mountain biking, dirt jumping since about eight months now, Christmas '05. I got like interested in mountain biking and dirt jumping just like one day my friends riding around the park, we found this place. We started doing the jumps, we enjoyed it, came back another day. Started to really like it and just came back basically every day. I've been working in a bike shop for 2 years, learned how to build the bikes, what different parts do, how to ride properly, got to know people in the scene of mountain biking, go out riding with them up in Drogheda. They show me how to do good jumps and stuff like that. Me and my friends set up a petition on the internet to try and get an actual legal dirt jumping park like the Glen Eagles one in British Columbia built here. This bike here is a cross-country bike. It's Kona Fire Mountain. It cost me €475, but usually they're in and around 700. It's a fairly good bike. It's a fairly good all-round bike. You can use it for commuting, dirt jumping, cross-country riding.
I can definitely see a major growth in the sport at the moment. With the odd skate park turning up around the city, there's a lot of kids, young riders taking up the sport, going out on their bikes, and they definitely will. They'll be the next generation of riders. Like, there's a good few people at the moment trying to set up bike parks and cross-country routes together with Coillte, but it's pretty difficult A, to get insurance, and B, to get funding for these initiatives to be taken seriously. At the moment there's petitions going around for people to sign, just so that local councils know the numbers of people that are interested. With numbers growing now, they are taking us more seriously, and there are developments being made, but it's slow at best.
Shane Connaughton, manager of Cycleways, talks about general growing interest in biking in recent years.
I've seen an increase in the bike sales and definitely in the users in the dirt jumping and extreme or off-road mountain biking. So I attribute it to the sports channels, the extreme sports. There's a few of them now started recently. They're available on the digital networks, you know. So other than the St Anne's Park and Marley Park, there's a forest in Wicklow, which is a friend of cycling, a guy who's very connected to Irish cycling, has actually handed over to the new commission. So it looks like they're going to get a grant and maybe build a proper circuit. The manufacturers also have a part to play. If they see a gap in the markets, they will put out bikes at certain price points that will help people go and achieve that. So they're investing in it in terms of the stock, the bikes that they're giving us to stock. So it definitely looks like it's on an upward spiral. Yeah.
As it stands, this sport can't develop much further in this country unless funding is provided to set up purpose-built parks. The only way to do this is to get enough people involved, to petition and to bring the case to the attention of the local councils. Until this is achieved, we can only speculate what the future holds for dirt jumping in Ireland.